I think for the first part of this video, we should talk about what drugs can actually do to you, because there's different types of drugs. And I did a poll on my story, just to let everyone know why we're doing this. I did a poll on my Instagram story. Instagram's in the description if you want to check it out for all of us. I did a poll on my story, drugs and alcohol or bullying, for the next podcast. And I think about 22 chose drugs and alcohol. I think we're going to talk about what drugs can actually do to you, in a sense, what the negatives of it, what it can lead to. And I'm going to say, Owen, name one thing, like one of the obvious things, like the big thing that drugs can do to you.
Get you addicted to them.
That's the most obvious one. You can get addicted.
That's the obvious one, innit? You get addicted and then you can't give them up.
Get addicted. That leads to money.
Money problems. Then you get in debt. Then you have to go meet dealers, and they're just.
Then you get in trouble with them. You can get in trouble with gangs.
Get in trouble with police if you're caught with like the illegal ones.
It leads to different things. There's a lot of things that can just lead from one thing. So there's addiction with that, and then there's other things like if people know you're taking drugs, or if you're drinking heavily, then they obviously, if you're your friends or family, they'll want to get you off it, and it'll make those people feel stressed because they're like, oh, my best mate, or you know, I just found out my son's drinking really bad, or my son's, you know, buying weed or whatever like that. But yeah, it's not more family, it's what it can do to your family without you knowing. Because you might think, oh, if I just buy drugs, it's just affecting me. You know, I'll get addicted, I'll be in debt. But it's when people find out and they're like, oh my god, he's buying stuff that's gonna kill him someday, depending on whatever. It's just that, like, it can affect a lot of people. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, moving on from that, another thing that came up on my Instagram was a mate of ours. He said we could talk about sport enhancement drugs. You know, what people take, like, you know, steroids and stuff like that. So steroids could be like,
and that.
Yeah. There was an example of this. I don't remember this in WWE. There was a scandal where wrestlers were taking steroids.
Oh, that was bad. No, that actually was bad. Like, but it wasn't just. It wouldn't only just happen in like wrestling, for example. It had happened in the Olympics. Do you remember when Russia got done for that doping scandal where they were supplying all their athletes with performance enhancing drugs, and then they got banned. They got banned for one of the games, didn't they?
That was bad.
Well, allowed to compete. Well, I mean, you know, that's what they do, don't they? The like companies or teams will just supply all the athletes with drugs so that they can obviously win games
so they can
win awards and that. But then that just makes it unfair, obviously, for other athletes and stuff.
Yeah, because you get people who've trained for years, and you get people who've obviously trained, but they're just taking bloody drugs. No, and they're just trying to find a way out of it.
You know, like when people think drugs, they usually think of all the really bad, serious, illegal ones. But I mean, like, people can get like addicted and misuse all sorts of stuff.